Hey guys, Amanda here to lead you through a yoga to Hanumanasana. This is commonly known as our splits posture. So we'll take a few steps to get into this posture, a few different exercises, a few different postures that will really help you advance this practice and eventually make your way into your splits pose. So roll out your mat, get on some comfy clothes, and let's get started. So once again, let's get started in easy posture. Today we're going to actually use 2 blocks if you have them. I only have one here. You can grab hold of a block. If you don't have a block, maybe grab hold of a really thick book that's also hardcover, so that you can also use that as a block. Maybe you also don't have anything like that, and you can use pillows as well, bunched up pillows for a little bit of support, and you'll notice why in the next few postures, and once we get into the splits variations, why we'll use these props to help us get there. So let's once again get into a little bit of a grounded series here. So I'll slowly close down those eyes, plant your hands wherever it feels comfortable. And find space to ground your sits bones a little bit deeper into the floor. Close down those eyes. Find space here to notice the breath. Maybe even begin to just notice the gentle state of your breath. Trying not to change that natural state, just noticing it flowing in and out of your body. Finding a few moments here to allow ourselves to get into your practice, get into your body. Notice what's taking place within your body today. Notice what's taking place within your mind, and seeing if you can become a silent observer of that and allowing it to just float away from the body, letting that go. Take a few moments here to come back to your awareness of your body, your mind, your spirit, and your breath. And then begin to deepen that breath a little bit, coming into a steady, even state of breath. Or maybe even begin to introduce your ujjayi breath, your nice sounded ocean wave breath. And again, noticing the clarity of your practice breath, this prana, this life force that's going to fuel our body and fuel your practice. And as we roll through this journey today, making sure that you always remember to breathe, always coming back to your awareness, to your breath. If your mind begins to wander off, bring it back to your breath, or maybe to an intention. And if you haven't set an intention already for your practice today, you can maybe set an intention of power, love, strength, gratitude, peace, serenity, whatever that is that sits well with you. Bring it back into your practice. And bring it back into your body. And as we roll through this practice today, continually bring it back in. Taking about 2 more clearing rounds of breath. Awesome. And then whenever you're ready, we'll just begin to gently open up those eyes. Good. On our next inhalation, let's begin to rise those arms straight up and overhead. We'll take hold of the opposite elbows, open up through that heart and the chest. We're going to come into a little bit of a cat-cow variation here. So as you exhale, round out through the spine, bring the elbows in line with the shoulders, just opening up a little bit further through that spine today. We'll inhale once again, rise up through your chest, open that heart up towards the front of the room. And exhale, hinge and round. Shoulders come in, elbows come in line with the shoulders. Okay, let's do about 3 more rounds with your own breath. As you round down, bringing your chin nice and deeply into the chest, getting a nice stretch into the back of the neck. And as you open up, really opening up through the heart and the chest. Coming into that final round here. Awesome. On our next inhalation, rise those arms up and overhead. And exhale, float those hands back down beside the hips. Good. From here, let's come all the way up into a tabletop position. Once you've landed into your tabletop, we're going to do a little bit of stretch through the heart here. So we'll exhale, come down into your puppy pose. So walk those fingertips out in front of the body. Spread those fingers nice and wide and root that chest down in between the arms. Again, if mobility is a little bit of an issue today, you're welcome to keep a slight bend into the elbows and press actively down through the chest. If you have lots of space, walk your fingertips forward, press down through the chest, bring the forehead down towards the floor. Maybe you have lots of space and you can bring your chin down to the floor. So taking it to where it feels good in your body, your practice. Taking the time to come back to your breath. Inhaling, we'll begin to rise it back up into your neutral tabletop. On your next exhalation, we're going to curl those back toes under, send your hips up and back into your very first downward facing dog. So start to walk out those feet for this first down dog. We'll paddle out the feet, taking a bend in the opposite knee, working into that down dog in whatever way feels good for you. Allowing our bodies to gently open up through those calves, those hamstrings. And then whenever you're ready, we'll make our way back into your neutral downward dog. On our next inhalation, let's look forward. Exhale, take a slight bend in the knee. Walk or hop your feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, we'll rise that halfway up. Bring the hands to the shins. Exhale, we'll hinge and find your fold. Inhale, we'll rise those arms all the way up and overhead, looking up to your hands. Exhale, we'll bring the hands back down through the heart center, all the way down beside the hips, Samasthiti. Good, let's flow through one sun salutation here. So inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hinge and find your fold. Inhale, we'll find that halfway lift, bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, firmly plant the hands, walk or hop your feet to the back of the mat, come down through your chaturanga. Again, if you need to, bring those knees down to the floor. Inhale, we'll rise it up, baby cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling, pressing your hips all the way back into your downward facing dog. And we'll take a few moments, once again, a breath here. Keep actively pressing your hips towards the back of the room. Take a slight bend into the knees. So you're really elongating through that spine as you send your heels down to the floor. On our next inhalation, we'll rise that right leg straight up to the sky. So opening up nice and deeply through that right leg. Exhale, we'll take a bend into your right knee. Open that toe up towards the left side of the room. So coming into a nice deep opening through that hip. Keep those shoulders actively squared off towards the front of the room. Press your left heel a little bit more down towards the floor. Sending that right toe out towards the left. Shining nice and bright here. On our next inhalation, lengthen that right leg straight back up to the sky. Exhale, we'll plant that right foot in between your hands. Slowly begin to rotate that left foot so it's parallel to the back of the mat. We'll windmill it up into your warrior two. So looking out and over your front right fingertips. Sink a little bit deeper into this posture. So opening up through the hips. Right knee out towards your right pinky toe. Left arm in line with your left shoulder ball. Sink it nice and deep. Finding strength and hold within this posture. On your next exhalation, we're going to hinge it into your half moon pose. So if you need to, you can slowly hop it up there. Maybe find a nice gentle float up there. So left toe out towards the left side of the room, left arm up to the sky. So finding your half moon. If you need to, you're always welcome to bring a block underneath of your right hand. So opening up a little bit further into that half moon posture. Finding length and depth into your breath. Gaze can come out towards the left side of the room. Left fingertips up to the sky. Left toe out towards the left side of the room. Finding strength and stability into your posture. On your next exhalation, we'll bring that left hand back down to the floor or to your block. If you extend the fingertips down to the floor, seeing if you can square those hips up, rise that left toe up to the sky. So you're coming into your standing splits variation. Maybe begin to walk those fingertips towards the right big toe, coming into a nice gentle posture here. Or not gentle, coming into a nice active posture here. Let your forehead fall in towards the shin. Left toe up to the sky. Keep those hips as squared as possible. Good. On our next exhalation, we're going to send that left toe down to the floor. Keep a bend into your right knee. Inhale, we'll rise the fingertips up to the sky, coming into your crescent lunge. Nice deep openness through that left hip flexor. Roll the shoulder blades back and down from the body. Open up through your heart and your chest. If you want a little bit of a back bend variation, you're welcome to open up. Gaze comes up towards the sky. Finding a nice gentle hold. On your next exhalation, let's plant those hands down onto the hips. Inhale, we'll hop that left foot just halfway up onto the mat. Square those hips off. So right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale, find that length up through your spine. Exhale, we'll hinge and fold over top of your right leg. So bring your gaze down towards that right shin, coming with a nice flat back. And then maybe begin to send your hands down to the shin, or maybe down to 2 blocks if you need, or fingertips come down to the floor. Gaze can stay up towards that right big toe. Right hip back, left hip forward, nice squared off hips. Nice sounded breath. Ujjayi breath. On our next inhalation, we'll take a slight bend into your front right knee. Exhale, we'll firmly plant the hands onto the floor. Walk that right toe back out to meet the left and lower down through your chaturanga. So if you need to, again, bring your knees down to the floor. Inhale, we'll rise it up, baby cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, send your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Take a few gentle breaths here. Nice active sounded breath. On our next inhalation, we'll lengthen that left leg straight up to the sky. Exhale, take a bend in your left knee, point the toe out towards the right side of the room, and send your right heel down to the floor. Slowly square off those shoulders if they're not already square. Finding a nice gentle hold, opening up through that left hip. On your next inhalation, we're going to lengthen that left leg straight back up to the sky. Exhale, we'll send that left foot in between the hands. Slowly begin to rotate your right foot so it's parallel to the back of the mat. We'll windmill it up into your warrior two. Looking out and over your front left fingertips, sinking it just a little bit deeper. Right arm is in line with your right shoulder ball. Left knee is out towards your left pinky toe. Nice, deep, strong warrior here. On your next exhalation, we're going to send the left fingertips down to the floor. Come up into your half moon pose. So right arm can go up to the sky, right toe out towards the right side of the room. Again, if you need to, grab hold of your block. Plant your block underneath of your left hand, right arm up to the sky, right toe out towards the right side of the room. Finding length and depth into your breath. On your next exhalation, we'll send your right fingertips down to the floor. Remove your block, square those hips up. Inhale, we'll send that right toe up to the sky, coming into your standing splits variation. Walk your fingertips towards that left big toe. Let your head fall heavy. Maybe rise it up just a little bit higher if you can. Breathe. Nice, strong, active breath. Finding strength through this pose. On your next exhalation, we'll send your right toe down to the floor. Inhale, begin to windmill those arms up into your crescent lunge. Square off those hips. Left hip back, right hip forward. Maybe you want to work towards a little bit more of an open heart today, so you're welcome to rise your gaze up to the sky, giving a little bit of a back bend. Roll your shoulder blades back and down from the body. Finding a nice deep hold. On your next exhalation, we'll bring those hands back down to the hips. Inhale, we'll hop that right foot halfway up onto the mat. Square the hips off. So left hip back, right hip forward. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Exhale, we'll hinge and fold over your left leg. So slowly begin to bring your gaze down towards that left big toe. Fingertips can come down towards the shin, or maybe they're actively coming down towards the floor. If you have the space, let your head fall heavy. Nice, strong, active breath. Left hip back, right hip forward. Coming into your pyramid posture. On your next inhalation, we'll take a bend into that left knee. Firmly plant your hands down to the floor. Hop your left foot back out to meet the right and lower down through your chaturanga. Inhale, rise it up into your back bend. And exhale, press your hips all the way back into your downward facing dog. On our next inhalation, we'll rise that right leg straight up to the sky as high as you can. And exhale, let's plant your right foot in between your hands. Slowly begin to bring that left knee down to the floor. So you're inching that left knee back as far as you can so you feel that deep stretch into that left hip flexor. We'll keep those fingertips onto the floor, seeing if you can shift your gaze up a little bit higher so you're coming into a nice deep stretch here out from the base of your left knee up towards your left shoulder. You'll feel a nice deep long stretch here. Really opening up through that left hip flexor. Oftentimes this is where we feel tight into our splits variation, into our Hanumanasana. So this is a very perfect posture to really open up through that tenderness, through that stiffness. And find a few more moments for your hold. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to grab hold of our block, or maybe you can reach the floor. So you can keep your left hand onto the floor or bring your left hand to a block or maybe to a book, whatever you have handy. We're going to take a bend into that left knee. So this could be where you're going to stay. If you want to keep your fingertips onto the floor, you're welcome to stay here. If you have lots of space today, seeing if you can reach back with that right hand. Maybe you can grab hold of the ankle. Maybe you're just touching the heel. Maybe you're just actively reaching towards that foot. Keeping a nice deep openness once again through that left quadricep, that left hip flexor. Chest is nice and open towards the right side of the room. On your next exhalation, we'll release that hold. Bring that left toe back down to the floor. Walk your hips back. So you're welcome to bring your blocks with you. Walk those hips back. Shine that right toe up to the sky and square your hips off. So right hip back, left hip forward. Take a nice full deep inhale and exhale, hinge and fold over your right leg. So you're welcome to bring your hands down to the floor if you have the space, or maybe keeping them onto the blocks wherever it feels good for you. Nice active sounded breath. And then on our next inhalation, you're welcome to stay right here. If this is a deep enough variation for you, you can keep staying there. Whenever you're ready, we'll inch that right foot forward. We're going to come into the full variation. So again, maybe you're just staying right here. Maybe it's just inching it a little bit more forward and this is active enough for you. If you have lots of space today, you're welcome to bring the block underneath of your right thigh and just slowly finding space to hold there. You can keep your fingertips onto the floor. Maybe you have even more space today and you're rolling it down onto the side edge of your block. Or maybe you're coming all the way down to the floor. If this feels comfortable for you today, see if you can rise those arms up to the sky. So you're really opening up nice and deeply into your Hanumanasana, your nice splits variation. Finding space for a hold. Finding length and depth into your breath. On our next exhalation, seeing if you can send those fingertips back down to the floor. Whenever you're ready, we'll come out of the variation. So slowly, slowly inch your right heel back. Remove your block. And then we'll exhale, send your right knee back to meet the left. We're going to come down into a nice gentle child pose. Give your hips a nice gentle roll out. Your left hip flexor might be a little bit tender. So slowly let your head fall heavy. Give it a nice gentle roll out. And then inhale, we'll roll it up into a tabletop. Exhale, send your hips back into your downward facing dog. On your next inhalation, we'll rise that left leg straight up to the sky as high as you can go. Exhale, we'll send that left foot in between your hands. Right knee comes down to the floor. And inch your right knee is back as far as you can feel. A nice deep stretch into your right hip flexor. From here, we'll inch that left foot forward so that your knee and ankle are in line with one another. Fingertips stay onto the ground, chin is rising up, gaze is lifted up towards the sky. So you're really stretching through that one long line from your right knee up towards your right shoulder ball. Nice active sounded breath. Finding your hold. And then whenever you are ready, we're going to plant your right hand underneath of your right shoulder. Well, again, if you need to, bring your block in. Plant your hand onto the block underneath of the shoulder. From here, you can inch your left heel back a little bit further too for a little bit more support and stability. And then take a bend into your right knee. You might stay right here. This might be active enough for you. If you have lots of space today, you're welcome to reach back with that left hand, maybe seeing if you can grab hold. So maybe you can grab hold of the ankle, maybe you can grab hold of the heel. Chest is out towards that left side of the room. Nice sounded breath here. On our next exhalation, we'll release that hold. Fingertips come back down to the floor. And we're going to keep that block close by. You can use your blocks, press your hips back. So your hips are nice and squared. Left hip back, right hip forward. Left toe shines bright up towards the sky. Take one full inhale, exhale, hinge and fold over your left leg. So again, you're welcome to use those blocks. Maybe you're bringing your hands all the way down to the floor if that feels good. Finding a nice gentle hold. Nice activation through your breath. On our next inhalation, we'll slowly begin to rise it back up. Walk your blocks forward, your hands forward. We're once again going to come into the full splits variation onto this side. So inch your left heel forward, and maybe this is active enough for you. Maybe you've landed here. If you have a little bit more space today, once again, we'll bring that block underneath of your left thigh, inch it a little bit more forward. And again, you're welcome to bring it even lower. Bring that left thigh down to the block, or maybe even all the way down to the floor if you have lots of space today. So we'll inhale, rise up through your chest, seeing if you can find the comfort level to rise those arms up to the sky. Fingertips up to the sky, roll the shoulder blades back and down from the body. Left toe shines nice and bright up to the ceiling. Should feel nice and open into this posture. Finding your hold. And again, if you've taken it with the fingertips up to the sky and it feels too much for you, you're always welcome to bring the fingertips back down to the floor. Seeing if we can hang out for just about 2 more gentle breaths. And on our next exhalation, we'll slowly begin to bring the fingertips back down to the floor. Find stability into your hands and then inch that left heel a little bit towards the body. You're welcome to remove your block and then send that left knee back to meet your right. Send those hips all the way back into a child pose. So again, give your hips a nice gentle wiggle out, letting go of any tension into those hip flexor. Your right hip flexor should feel a little bit sore at this point in time. So finding gentle activation into your breath. And then whenever you are ready, we'll slowly begin to roll ourselves back up into a seated position. And exhale, we'll come down into your final relaxation. So swing those feet back around in front of the body. Come all the way down onto the back into your Shavasana corpse pose. So let those legs float out as wide as your mat. Let the arms float out as wide as your mat. Roll the shoulder blades back and underneath of the body. Lie with those palms facing up. And find space to rest here. Allow your body to sink a little bit deeper into the mat and into the floor. Letting go of all activation of your breath. And finding space to restore that mind, body, and soul connection. Allow your body to just be. Allow your mind to just be. And allow your breath to just be. Taking a few more moments for silence and for you. And as always, you're welcome to stay here for as long as you'd like. If you want to stay here after the video is done, you're welcome to. So take this time for you and your body. Hey guys, thanks again for joining me today on that journey to Hanumanasana, our splits variation posture. So like, subscribe, and share for more content like this.